we know what we are trying to achieve. We are trying to get fit, which means that you should be physically active. You should be physically capable of running, say, 10 kilometers. You should be able to play badminton for 2 hours. You should be able to have energy level throughout the day naturally. You should not have any lifestyle disease. You should be at your ideal body weight, and you should be at correct body fat percentage, and you should have higher muscle mass and lower body fat. This is all we want. And we don't want diabetes, we don't want PCOD, PCOS, we don't want thyroid. We want to reverse all this, blood pressure. We want to reverse all this without medicines. And we don't want it to ever come in the first place if you don't have anything. So this is what we are trying to achieve. And it is actually very, very, very easy to do. It is not difficult at all. There are just, like, the whole area is fully muddled up by so many concepts here, there, and most of the concepts are wrong. And I will explain why they are wrong as well briefly. Now, the first logic we need to understand is, say 100 years back or 150 years back, what percentage of people was overweight, obese, or had diabetes, or PCOD, or PCOS, or thyroid, and what is the percentage now? I'll give you a statistic. The percentage was less than 1% of the population. It's negligible, right? Almost non-existent. That is the first clue that we need to understand. That if 100 years back, 150 years back, less than 1% of the population was overweight, obese, and they were not following any kind of a diet plan. They were not doing any kind of keto diet, which is totally unnatural. They were not sitting and doing low carb. They were not sitting and worrying about their protein, right? And they were naturally physically active. They were not having sedentary jobs. Everything that they were eating was natural, because there is no factory available only. Factories have come in 1920s, 1910, 1920s, late 1800s, Industrial Revolution happened. So when industries started getting into other things, it was fine, right? They got into car manufacturing, they got into everything. It has improved our life considerably. But when they started getting into food, that's where the issue happened. Because food, your body is evolutionarily designed to have certain food, and it is evolutionarily designed not to have certain food. Would evolution go in such a way that it would make your body okay to have cornflakes made in a factory? Evolution takes thousands of years, by the way. Evolution is a very slow process. So will your genes respond well if you give something that is unnatural? No, because your body through thousands of years has never had access to things like cornflakes, has never had access to things like digestive biscuit or rusk, or market chocolates. Homemade chocolates are fine, by the way. So the body has never had access to chemicals, chemical preservatives, added refined sugar. It had access to probably jaggery, sugar cane, yes. But we never had access to refined sugar. We never had access actually even to refined or white rice. Even that used to be hand pounded, right? So you guys are understanding the basic concept here. And just to give you the second side of the equation, right now if you see, 1 out of 4 women in India and even across the world who are in the fertile age have PCOD or PCOS, which actually makes it little difficult for them to actually conceive if they don't get rid of it. What about diabetes? Diabetes is, again, like a totally non-existent thing 150 years back. And the only reason it is happening now in so much numbers, India is one of the leading numbers of diabetic patients in the world. The only reason it is happening is because our lifestyle has deviated from a natural and traditional lifestyle. Because of the main reason, one of the big main reasons is food. What is available to us now? Every food item that if you don't think about food, if you just eat wherever you're going, suppose you're going on an aeroplane, suppose you're going to say wherever. I usually go from Delhi to Hyderabad for sometimes. You see anything in the menu, nothing is healthy, nothing is fine, nothing is natural, everything is packaged processed. So what will you do? Right? That is what we will explain to you, right? What has to be done. If you have, say, the bread of the market, 51% refined maida, refined atta, which is maida, thousands of preservatives. There is one preservative called potassium bromate. I think that was banned in 2016, but for so many years it was not banned. And that happens with so many things, right? Ultimately, all of these additives are totally unnatural. Your body has not been evolutionarily designed to have these food items which are now being made in a factory and laboratory and given to you. If you want to have a natural and traditional lifestyle, the first thing you have to do is food. You have to handle nutrition. And nutrition does not mean diet plan, does not mean calorie counting, does not mean that you are sitting and not eating and feeling hungry. No. Proper nutrition means you are following what your ancestors used to do. Now, whether that is in type of food items, that is one aspect, and second aspect is method of preparation. Both have to match. Both have to match the traditional practices. Because your body has evolved over thousands of years, your ancestors have experimented with multiple things and come to certain traditional practices. So if you follow those traditional practices and eat food items which were only available 100 years back with no restrictions, you don't need to do restrictions. It's not a restrictive diet that we are saying. If you do that, your nutrition portion will be taken care of. You don't need to even have a diet plan.